What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. Sorry for the delay. I've been off for a week. I just got back from the UK, went to London for 5 days, try a bunch of different restaurants and just do a little bit of a reset. So I wanted to share 5 things that I learned from shutting down all my eBay stores for 5 days. And I think it's important to realize a few of these things. So I wanted to share these insights with you guys to give you some perspective on what it's like to turn off your stores. I haven't turned off my stores in over a year. On January 9th was when I started this 10,000 item journey. So it's been about 1 year since I've taken an actual break from eBay. So I went to the UK. I actually deleted the eBay the app off of my phone. So there was no, and I don't have any eBay email. So if you guys know, I actually have eBay emails automatically archive in my email, so I don't get any of them. I only look at my eBay when I'm using the eBay app. So for about a week, I didn't do any eBay. So didn't have the app on my phone, wasn't tempted. Did the same thing for Poshmark, which I just started. So these are my 5 conclusions that I got from shutting down my store for 1 week. The first thing is that you don't really lose anything unless your items are replenishables and you lose your ranking. And in that case, if you guys have replenishables that where the ranking matters, I would never turn those off. I would extend my handling time and do as you would normally would do, like I did the last time I took a trip. So last year, I went to Japan for 2 weeks. I extended my handling time to 2 weeks. And I didn't really take a break from eBay. At the end of my trip, before going to sleep, I would answer all my customer service and say, hey, I'm on vacation. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Is that okay? If not, I can cancel your order. And this time I just shut it off. I just turned off all of my stores and didn't get any incoming stuff, no sales. I was in a ghost mode for a whole week. I did receive 44 messages. People were saying, because I had my items up, but not purchasable. So people were like, hey, I see that you're gone. Let me know when you're back. I'd like to buy this item. I got messages like that. But 44 messages is not too bad for a week that went by. So pretty easy to maintain, but you don't really lose anything. It's just you extend the cash flow out to the future. I'm fortunate. I'm in a position where I don't necessarily need that income, and I'm not expecting it to rebound right away. I turned on my listings today, and the sales are slow, as expected. So as they start to recirculate through the system as live listings, we'll see how long it takes for me to rebound from turning the system off. And as you guys know, I'm working on 2 full-time employees, 1 assistant that helps me with different income projects, and then 1 full-time photographer / lister person. I am starting to do it more in-house instead of a VA. VA system was great. I just think that I have the capacity to do it in-house. So I'd like to do all my listing in-house instead of separating the processes. I'd like to just get it listed all in one continuous flow because I like lean. So for me, with the lean process, instead of batching, you do something all the way through. And I like that concept because I do the draft, my photographer takes the photo, he uploads it, and it goes live right there. And it's just one continuous process, and the goal is to get 100 listings done in an 8-hour period with a 1-hour break. So that's the concept of my eBay system. But leaving made me realize that I need to kind of ramp this up quicker so that I can really take a break and not have to turn off my store. I like to have my photographer and my assistant do the shipping for me when I'm not here. So leaving really allowed me to think. I need to think bigger so that I can make more money in a shorter amount of time and really take some time to recharge. So that brings me to my second point, which is that you can really, really recharge when you turn things off. If you go on an information hiatus and you just take a break from it all, I think it's really good. And this is why I did not set up a reseller meeting in the UK, which I should have, right? I should have done a meeting and met all the resellers that I know in England, great group of people, but I just wanted to take a break from reselling. So I just went there. I spent some time walking around. I went to 5 markets. I loved the Portobello Road. That was probably my favorite thing, was just walking around with my girlfriend with the pastry and coffee and looking at antiques. That was one of the funnest things I've ever done in my entire life. And I love the concept of being a street merchant and selling items that are 40 pounds in this case or higher, which is great. Like you go throughout your week and you find things and wares, and you go to your booth every weekend or every day. In this case, some of those markets stalls are open 6 days a week, and you can sell your wares and become known as the brass person, or um, chandelier person, or spoon person, or jewelry person. I think that's cool. And true merchants. Not There's not a lot of that in the States, to be honest. You don't get like a dedicated booth in an area that you can go to every day and have the traffic required to actually run that type of business. So if I was in the UK, I would love that. And I would love to actually be a reseller that has a brick and mortar booth. I think that's cool. I think there's antique booths in the States, but not where I live. So I don't see a lot of antique booths that have the type of walking traffic like in London. That was just absolutely outstanding. But I think that I was able to really recharge because I kept a notebook and I had so many ideas on what I could do to improve my store, which I'm excited to share with you guys over the next couple of weeks as I start really getting back into things. I'll show you my concept. I have the full capacity at this point to list at least 100 items a day if I want to. So I have the space, the suppliers, all the stuff that I was looking for when I first started this journey last year. Last year, being a generalist and trying every single type of method, now I really have an idea of what I enjoy selling, what I like to sell, what to grow. I think that's a really, really big deal. To do travel, make sure you take some time off. You have Bonafide Hustler in the chat. He does a lot of travel, and I think it allows you to get some perspective. I'm going to go on a quick tangent here and talk about art. We always do the free walking tours when we go travel with my girlfriend. This is our 100th vacation. So in 7 years, it's about 13 vacations per year of at least 3 days or longer. So done a lot of traveling, a lot of Airbnb, a lot of cheap deals. The trip for 6 days to London cost us just around $700 each. So even cheaper than some of our trips domestically, because she found a flight for $350 round trip. So getting into that habit, I think, is really good because it allows you to recharge. But I want to go off on a quick tangent here, which is we always do free walking tours that are done by locals. So they're free, and then you tip what you feel like at the end, and they generally make a couple $100 an hour. So if you guys want to become an expert at where you live and you really have some great insights to share with people, I recommend you become a walking tour guide if you enjoy meeting people. So our guide walked us through Westminster Abbey, and we went through all the places that have historical significance. And he basically said, when you look at a statue, try not to read the description or listen to the guide first. I'm going to give you guys 1 or 2 minutes to develop your own opinion of it before I tell you the significance of it. And you can see how it matches up. And that's how you can fully enjoy art. As an art historian myself, I give these tours because I want to hear fresh opinions of what these statues look like. It's one of my passions. I was like, wow, this is so cool. This guy's an actor, artist, whatever, but he wants to hear fresh opinions on old things. I think I've not been appreciating art fully because when I first get to the art, I always read the description first and then come up with my opinion. I think I've been doing it backwards. I should definitely determine the value of it before. This also applies to the reselling. Before you look up the sold on your phone, right? Try to guess what the value is, what the significance of it, what it's worth. I think that really does matter. So really appreciated that walking tour. I think it was super good. Okay, so now the next one is, I think a 1 month sabbatical in 2018 is my goal. And it's because I think it helps you determine what's valuable in your life and what's worth your time and what's not. And when you determine what's valuable in your life, I do think it helps you resell more because you start selling things that are more valuable to you, which means you can transfer some of that value and increase your average sale price per item. Visiting Harrods, I thought it was pretty interesting. There are entire floors that have over $1,000 ASP in that building. They sell art. They sell unique items. There's a notebook company or like an accessories company called Smythson. I saw a $5,000 iPad pouch, right? So, I mean, you could get your normal $500 to $700 iPad and put it in a $5,000 crocodile pouch if you wanted to. It wasn't a purse. It was literally just a piece of fabric with a zipper on it, $5,000. So I have never seen ASP or average selling price of items that high really in a retail store. The Harrods had stuff in it that was like the museums that I visited, which brings me to another point that I think is absolutely magical when it comes to sales in general. So on one of the free walking tours, one of the guides said that the reason so many attractions in London are free is because no one really would go to London if it wasn't for the free stuff, because London in general is relatively expensive. Now, me being in the Bay Area, it did not feel like London was really that expensive. It's just as expensive here, especially in San Francisco. The housing prices and the food, the shows, just as expensive. Maybe a little bit more in London for certain things, but still very expensive. Let's see, I kind of lost my train of thought. But my point is, when you're looking at ASP items that are that high, you look at the way they're presented. Oh, actually, I remember my point now. Most of the stuff in London is free to get people to London. Once they're there, they spend money and the tourism starts to grow. And I think that's very important to realize. Everybody wants to sell really, really high ASP. I would prefer $1,000 average sale price, 100. But, really most people can't afford this kind of stuff. When you look at Harrods, it's really just, from my opinion, oil money that's buying it. There was just like a lot of international people there, Chinese or Middle Eastern. There were not a lot of Europeans or Americans in those stores, those super high-end stores. And I just feel like it's not really that accessible. The little souvenir shops that sell junk made in China in London are busy. They're packed. Tons of people are in there buying stuff. But no one would be in their stores if there weren't people in London. So I think the city of London did a great job making so many of their spaces free. And I just want to reiterate how lucky we are in the States, because there are so many ways to make money and so many more things that are accessible. I feel like here in California, there's so many things that can make you a lot of money, like agriculture even, which is not really available in England. Doesn't seem like it. There are just so many different ways to make money here. And I just think we should be grateful, because in the UK, I feel like the reselling atmosphere is not as good as in California. Not as many retail arbitrage opportunities like in San Francisco here. I feel like there's definitely more ways to make money. It's not as big of a division between rich and poor as it was there. I mean, I've seen some insane displays of wealth in my life, but not like South Kensington or the Kensington areas. Looking at that old money, it reminded me of like the Upper East Side of New York. As you guys know, I lived for 4 years in New York City. My best friend went to Columbia, and we were there for 3.5, 4 years living together. And we saw a lot of the wealth right there on the upper East, Upper West. We were right by Columbia and Morningside Park. So I loved living in New York City and seeing all that money and different things coming in, and the every single block being totally different. I miss that about New York City. And that is one reason why I don't want to live in suburbia longer than I have to. I'm right here right now because I need the space, but eventually definitely enjoy the city life. Also, the art and exposure that children get, I just don't see that where I live. Like going to the museums, all this stuff is free. It's just unbelievable how many options there are for kids to go and learn about culture, music, theater, and just have such a diverse group of kids to learn from. Probably 100 races of kids in one museum tour. So unbelievable. Cool there. Okay, so yeah, 1 month sabbatical, I think, will really identify for you what's important. That's the third thing I learned. The fourth thing is that I want you guys to realize you can invest your money everywhere. You can invest your money not just in physical products. You can invest it in digital products, spend some time creating a course. You can do Airbnb. You can do rental cars like me. That's one thing that I do when I am going on travel. For example, my rental car income was more than my trip. So even that alone paid for my reselling trip. But it's like you can put your money in other places other than new inventory. So you don't have to always reinvest stuff in the eBay. You can diversify your income a little bit, learn different projects, and adjust as you move, right? The only person making the rules is you. You don't have to listen to everyone. You don't have to listen to anyone really, except for yourself. I like the saying at the end of your life, the report card is really only graded by you, right? And then in God or spiritual nature, if you guys believe in that kind of stuff, that is one way, but really no one else is grading your report card. Okay, and the last one is, I think hard cutoffs really, really, really help you stay motivated. So for me, you guys know I have 3 dates with my girlfriend each week. I'm not allowed to use my cell phone during those dates. I think it's great. I go hang out with her. My phone goes directly into her purse. She's allowed to use her phone because really she's just taking pictures of our food or pictures of us. So she doesn't have a social media addiction like myself. So, It's a nice break, but having that hard cutoff makes me work really, really hard to try to get stuff done so that I can launch things. So for example, I have a project with Prince, and you guys know Prince, he's Wired by Biz. I'm not as great at him as at focusing. And I think this is another key thing. Like, you really want to focus on productivity, not being busy. How much are you producing? How much are you making? Not how much are you busy, like how busy you are. It doesn't matter. So my point is, he's helping me understand hard deadlines. And I know for myself, like if I want to get something done in a month, I need to hammer myself all month with weekly milestones so that I can actually get there. So hard cutoffs, I think, are huge. You guys need to create hard cutoffs for yourself to help you stay motivated and on track as you grow your eBay business. I want to share something really cool from Kaz, who's in my mastermind calls. This morning, he was sharing that he is super motivated by chocolate. And this just made me so happy because he basically would reward himself with a bite of chocolate for every listing that he completed. And man, that is a great idea. And he said during the last week or so while I was gone, he was able to list 50 items, right? And in turn, he ate 50 pieces of chocolate. That is amazing. And it's really worth it. Like, if you're going to work that hard and bust out 50 listings on your own, you deserve 50 bites of chocolate. That's a couple of bars, worth it, right? He also, the second thing that he was really motivated by is working out. So he's like, I really, really love working out. So I want to tie listing, something that I don't enjoy that much, to working out so that I can enjoy both together. But it's like, I can't really go work out until I've hit this much dollar amount listed. For example, if you want to list $500 worth of new stuff, then go to the gym. It's great to tie those two things together. So I think it's important to match up habits that you do consistently. One thing that I learned from college football players is if you want to get into a push-up habit, let's say you want to do 100 push-ups a day, you may actually tie that to brushing your teeth. So if you do 100 push-ups before you brush your teeth, that's a habit that you can combine and turn into one habit, especially if you've already been brushing your teeth for a while. If you combine a couple of things together, for me, I would like my morning routine to just be one continuous long habit, but it takes a while to develop that. So you got to take your time. 115 people watching. Appreciate it. If you guys hit the like button, that would be great. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, my goal is to help you guys build your ideal eBay business, whatever it may be. I think that everyone should have an eBay business because it just teaches you about e-commerce. It just teaches you about developing value to the world. And I feel like a lot of millennials get a bad rap because, in my opinion, a lot of millennials are delivering less value than they consume. And that's just where people think that you're sort of, you're kind of sucking away life from other people rather than giving it. So I recommend for everyone, especially people who, when whatever position you are, you can start right now and start delivering more than you take in. You can do that two ways. You can reduce your footprint, or you can give more. And I really don't think that you can reduce your imprint. Like, you can't, unless you're spending more than $10,000 a month, which most people don't, then you should be focused on income, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I think if you're spending less than $10,000 a month, focus on making more, because the most you could ever save is $10,000 a month, right? So I think most people who are listening right now, you don't spend more than 10K, but you could make $1 million a month. There's just so much of a range. On the upside, don't worry so much about your expenses. Just don't be extravagant. Don't upgrade your lifestyle too much or beyond your needs. You can if you want to, but I just think focus on the income generating stuff. Appreciate you guys stopping by. So, as far as Technotech is asking if anyone in the group is interested in an eBay course, it depends. I mean, like, a lot of people ask me, this is one of the reasons why I'm making a course, because I feel like there's so much that goes into eBay, right? Customer service, listing, strategies. So I will be coming out with one. Most of the people, everyone in my mastermind will get it for free. And I do want to spend a second plugging that. If you guys watch my Monday night calls, my mastermind is not full. It's about 75 people, and I'm looking for 100. So if you guys want to join the calls, let me know. DM me if you want to try it for a week or two and see if you like it or not. Let me know. I'll let you try it for a couple of weeks for free. And if you like it, go ahead and jump in. Or if you decide you want to just jump in one of them, you can get to know your people really well, and I'll give you a full refund if you're not happy. So I think it's great to surround yourself with like-minded people. I want to surround myself with 100 serious eBay people that want to build their ideal business. And for some people, it might be an extra grand a week, so that they can pay down debt or whatever. For some people, they have much larger ambitions. They want to do $1 million, whatever. It just depends on you, right? The only thing I can do is present you with as many ideas as I can and try to surround you with the same type of people. Eventually, we are going to work on more wholesale deals. As you guys know, I'll be doing a call with the program Fit Shipper, and they're going to give a 1-year subscription to people who follow me. So I think that's very generous of them. They wanted me to limit it to my mastermind group, but I may open it to a few people on YouTube because you guys have been loyal and subscribing to me over the time. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch me every week and give me feedback. And one more thing I want to share with you guys, which I think is extremely powerful. If you guys want to ask some questions in the Q&A, you can go ahead and do that. But when you are public, like myself, and you openly show things, they're going to get criticized basically on a daily basis. And it's going to put you in the pressure cooker, and it's going to help you learn faster, grow faster, be better, learn more, improve. And, for example, I've received, I'd say, 10% negative feedback, which is great, and a lot of it is constructive. Very, very rarely do I get a piece of feedback that's just that doesn't have a little bit of truth in it. Right? If somebody is criticizing you or making fun of you or has an issue with you, usually there's at least 1% in there that's somewhat true. So now when people shoot out stuff towards me, I just look for the grain of truth. I acknowledge it. I say thank you. If it's good, bad, negative, whatever, I just say thank you, appreciate it, learn from it, and move on. So I recommend for a lot of you guys, try to be public with certain things if you want to improve them. At least public to people who you care about their opinion. Maybe not everyone, but maybe 5 people that you care about. You share your progress with them and let them know, please be honest with me. I want to create an environment where you're comfortable telling me what you don't like about me. The worst thing you can do is be so difficult to talk to that people don't share their issues with you and you can't share ideas with them. You don't want to be that type of person. You want to be open to feedback, not to everyone, but I think most people, you can learn something from what they tell you. So when you're in, for me, trust me, being on YouTube, you're going to get a lot of people who tell you their opinion. So I think it's great. I'm appreciative of all that different stuff, and I truly appreciate it. And you guys sticking with me over the course. It's been almost a year now. It's been about 11 months of YouTubing. So I've been posting consistently about 5 times a week the entire year. So this is my first break. It wasn't even a week really. So the last time I posted a video was exactly a week ago. So about a 6-day break. Recommend you guys recharge your batteries once in a while. Take a full break, unplug. Don't bring your phone. Walk out on the beach and just truly unplug. Let's see if we have any more questions here. Rita is saying there's lots of that oil money is huge. And when I was in the UK, I saw so much eBay oil money. It was unbelievable. Petrodollars were just literally insane. Mo in the chat, appreciate you stopping by. Is it like Home Depot where you drive by and pick your tour guide? No, unfortunately, for the free tour guides, they are set up by a company. I don't know the company, but if you email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com, I'll have my girlfriend email you the link. But it was really awesome. Gus, glad to be back. Frocks and Fines, thank you for stopping by. Charissa, thank you Charissa, thank you for stopping by from North Carolina. I am going to visit the Carolinas. I have a lot of people that I want to visit out there. So I'm very excited to go out there. I have to shout out Nate for sending me this awesome Utah Jazz jacket. So really, really cool. Appreciate you guys. If you guys want to send me stuff to review or you just want to send me a thank you gift, I appreciate it. You can just send me, I'll send you my address if you email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com. I am from Utah, so appreciate it out there. People send me little knickknacks from different jobs that I've had or things that I like. Like I get Huskies in the mail once in a while. Lots of cool different things. Trista, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I try to be down to earth, try to be the same person in person, also on YouTube. And so I do things like seller meetups. And if you guys want to stop by in Kansas City, Missouri, next month. You should. March 8th, 9th, and 10th. If you go to resellerfam.com, you can check it out and get to meet 10 of the most awesome resellers in the community. We're going to all have a little workshop to help you upgrade your business. We did lower the price to $200, and I believe we sold a lot of hotel rooms, so now they've actually lowered the rate. So it was $99 a night, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's going down to $79 a month, which would save you guys a lot of money. So an extra $40 savings. The hotel is pretty pleased with the turnout. So if you guys want to stop by, we're going to sell events all the way up to the event. Probably we are not going to have a virtual version of it, digital version of it. We'd rather just save it for the people who pay to show up. It is expensive to run these types of events. But again, if you guys have you want help organizing a local event, reach out to me. I've had lots of event planning experience. This is not my first rodeo. We can definitely get people to come to different areas to help you out, especially here in California. Hustle Bee and Hustler Hacks are awesome. They were just here staying with me. Really appreciate those guys as well. Did I do any thrifting in the UK? I did hit a couple of salvos. They're called charity shops in the UK, which is great. What did I find compared to the US? I think that the UK is a lot older, right? So everything in London, I think, is 300 or 400 years older than here. So there's a lot more antiques. So that just made me super excited. That's what I would sell if I lived in London. I would sell a lot more rare, unique, old items, because I think that's just, wherever you are, you should really maximize that. And London has such deep, rich history. So I would love to figure out some of the old money there and say, hey, let me do some consignment. I'll sell some of your priceless items and focus on creating a really, really high-end, antique, collectible, rare vintage store, because you're in one of the areas where you also have that the clout behind your store. Being in London, you could put that's where the item is located, and I think that's pretty powerful. It's also not a cheap place to live, so the fact that you're reselling in general there is pretty powerful. Are there any organizers in Southern California? There's a lot. I would say a huge majority of more than 50% of my followers are in New York, Florida, California, mostly Southern California, Texas, Illinois area. So not a huge group of people, relatively small. Let's see. Fort Lauderdale. Yep. Awesome. I am going to do a meetup in Florida. So I don't know exactly how to do that, but I want to plan one. I want to go out there and meet Raleigh Roots in their hometown, maybe do a thrift off. I love thrifting. I don't think I'm ever going to give it up. I want to do it in every state just to get an idea of what's going on. But appreciate you guys' time. I'm going to take off for the day. Please hit the like button before on your way out. I appreciate everything you guys do. Please comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to join my mastermind, email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com and tell me what your eBay goals are. Even if you don't want to join my eBay group, please just email me your goals, because I like to see and meet new resellers, and just let me know. So 10konthebay@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you later.